What's going on, everybody? Today I'm reviewing a book I just finished, Principles, Ray Dalio. Probably have heard of this book, especially if you're following my channel. So this was a little bit of a longer read. Maybe it took me like 6 months actually to finish this. Been kind of reading this a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's totally worth reading all the way to the end. So you probably know Ray Dalio from the investment side of things. He's one of the most famous investors, the founder of Bridgewater. So today I'm just gonna go over some of the takeaways, just a few of them. So let's dive in. There would be a lot to cover here, a lot of things, but just kind of talking about some of the relevant ones for me. I'm gonna making a review also for you to kind of get a little bit of an overview of like what you get when you buy this book. So there's 3 parts to it. Part 1 is where I'm coming from, so where Ray is coming from. So he's telling his story briefly in the first 100 or so pages. Then second part is going to be life principles, and third part is work principles. If you are not like a business owner or something, you probably might skip the third part. It's not necessarily so relevant for employees. It was kind of relevant to me because I'm in position to start hiring some people right now. There's some stuff that wasn't so relevant to me, but certainly some good instructions on hiring the right people. So I'm gonna skip the part 1. He's telling his story, obviously there, kind of a little bit like a biography part there. But then the part 2, one of the things that he really stresses here in this book is being a realist, not being like an optimist or pessimist, but being a realist. So embrace reality and deal with it. That's what he talks about. You got to understand like the universe and how the universe works, how we all are essentially in the end survival machines. We are just benefiting the purposes of the whole universe, or just a small part of the universe. That's the reality. Be it hard or not to accept. Then he talks a lot about like getting ideas, learning, making good decisions, and how you're gonna want to make those good decisions, seeking advice from people who know better than you, but also ensuring that you're not just trusting one authority, but that you also seek the advice of many counselors. He made an example of, I think, some kind of cancerous tumor. Don't quote me on this, but he was talking about some health problem that he was facing, and one doctor or physician had already told him that he would not see old age, or he would die in very recent years, or giving him a life expectancy. But then he sought out the advice of other counselors, other experts in the field, and it turned out that it was actually a mistake and he wasn't going to die. So that's a good example of how you want to seek advice from many people. So if he had just trusted that one doctor or surgeon or whatever healthcare professional it was, that would have led him to live the rest of his life very differently than he ended up living it, or is living it. So those are a few takeaways from the life principles. Again, I read this actually it was like almost 6 months ago or something when I read the first part. Cannot really recall everything from it. Of course, Ray Dalio is also talking a lot about like idea I'm not able to say that probably idea meritocracy or whatever that is. Sorry, I'm Finnish, so I have all the vocabulary and pronunciations right in English. But anyways, seeking ideas from like the group, having this kind of open-mindedness, and in the company you're going to give everyone the right to give their opinions, to give their ideas, and this open-mindedness is key so that you can get new ideas. Like this company of people contributing to the whole and giving ideas is key there. So he's talking about that a lot. So being like, you don't need to be necessarily a superior to give like your ideas, and if you are a superior in the company, you should be open-minded to hearing the ideas from also people in positions below you in the hierarchy. So that's very very key or big thing that he's talking about here. And then it actually is a pretty big part is the part 3, the work principles. So yeah, some big takeaways for business owners there, like getting the culture right. If you just like have that one bad apple, the whole bunch is going to be ruined. So you really don't want to tolerate less. You want to ensure that the culture is right, because again, even if 1-2 people are not meeting the standards, then the whole culture is kind of ruined there. And you need to communicate clearly what those standards are, because you cannot expect someone to do something that you really didn't communicate clearly in the contract or KPIs or whatever, that's what the requirements are, or the standards or key performance indicators are. So that's one thing. One of the other things that I took from this is that it's very important that you understand when you hire people that you're essentially hiring someone you're going to spend a big part of your life with. So ensure that you also like those people, and yeah, that you want to really spend a lot of time with those people. Also, one thing he stresses a lot is that there is skills or training, and then there is ability. So you got to understand some people, no matter how much you train them, their ability might be here, where some people's ability is here. So you cannot confuse training and skills with ability. It's very frustrating and time consuming and such a waste of time if you train someone who didn't have a lot of ability in the first place, and then you spend all the time training them. Whereas someone who has a lot of ability, you don't need to spend that much time training them. As an example, think about sales. Some people naturally have a lot of ability. Not necessarily saying that anyone couldn't be a salesperson, but probably some people are a little more extroverted, more socially skilled, or they have their tonality and things like that, right? Or yeah, they just get it, they just have the ability, and other people, no matter how much you train them, they're never gonna be a good salesperson. Or whatever it is. It could be even maybe their intelligence, IQ. If they don't have enough IQ, they're never going to become the whatever position you're thinking of giving them. They're never going to meet the level of ability that's going to be required. So that's one thing. Yeah, those are some of the biggest takeaways, I think. Again, if you don't hire right, it's big penalties for that. It's very such a big waste of resources to hire someone if they're not the right fit, and ensure that you're also hiring them to the right position. So yeah, just a few takeaways from that book. I highly recommend reading it. Again, a little bit longer book, but worth reading all the way. You don't of course need to read it all. If you don't have a business or something, you can just read the life principles, totally worth it anyways. There's some recommendations by Bill Gates and Tony Robbins. I think that's reason enough for some good people to take recommendations from. So that's the book review. Hopefully you like this. I'm gonna make some more reviews next up. For example, I have 100 million offers, 100 million leads by Alex Hormozy there. Just got them from Amazon. I think that's going to be the next books I review on this channel. So ensure that you subscribe it so you don't miss out on those next book recommendations, reviews, summaries. That's it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Talk to you soon.